Let's talk about this double masks. You know what double masks mean? Yeah. I'll show you this. Of course, I had to retweet that. So it won't end here. That's what I'll call it now. They're not going to do it. Breaking 911. The CDC has updated its face mask guidelines. Now advises double masking. Wearing one disposable mask underneath a cloth mask. The second mask should push the edges of your inner mask against your face. Make sure that you can see and breathe easily. Oh my gosh. This is really ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Like, what? Weren't they saying that masks don't work? They were saying it. The CDC came out and said that. That's it. They were like, the Surgeon General came out and said there's no reason to wear masks if you're not sick. Period. They said that for months. I was very clued into the news circuit before COVID hit and during COVID, and during COVID it hasn't ended. It hasn't ended. We're still in it. Yeah, CDC updates coronavirus mask guidance. Yep, they say it. See, they updated their mask guidance on Wednesday to include data from a recent lab experiment that found placing a cloth mask over a surgical mask, as well as using a properly fitted mask, was effective in stopping coronavirus spread. The update, which was announced by CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky during a White House coronavirus briefing, comes after a lab experiment using simulated respiratory breaths found that placing a cloth mask, blah, 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 add another mask onto the list. I don't need to hear all the mumbo jumbo. I just remember very distinctly, oh, what's that? Yeah, I actually have some of the articles. WHO stands by recommendation to not wear masks if you are not sick or not caring for someone who is sick. This is the end of March, almost April. This is the peak. This was right when it was slamming our country, first and foremost. No, the World Health Organization, this is from CNN, mind you, the most trusted place in news. Okay, I couldn't say that with a straight face, but it's funny because I love using them as an example of, like, see, they said it. They're the ones that people tend to quote. Well, it says here, World Health Organization officials Monday said they still recommend people not wear face masks unless they are sick with COVID-19 or caring for someone who is sick. There is no specific evidence to suggest that wearing masks by the mass population has any potential benefit. In fact, there's some evidence to suggest the opposite in the misuse of wearing masks properly or fitting it properly. Dr. Mike Ryan, executive director of the WHO Health Emergencies Program, said at a media briefing in Geneva, Switzerland. This is obviously in March. There is also an issue that we have a massive global shortage, Ryan said about masks and other medical supplies. Right now, the people most at risk from this virus are the frontline health workers who are exposed to the virus every second of every day. The thought of them not having a mask is horrific. Well, is it because you didn't want us wearing a mask, or you knew there was a shortage and you were telling us not to wear masks, but you knew that we should have been wearing masks? But now you want us to wear 2 masks because the shortage is... wait a minute. What about Fauci? Didn't Fauci? Yeah, I remember Fauci saying something about that. Oh, yeah, I've got that too. Fact check. Did Dr. Fauci say no masks like Trump is claiming? The claim. And of course, it's a wonderful tweet from real Donald Trump. Do you remember those days when we had tweets and we were able to read his tweets? Well, it said, Dr. Tony Fauci says we don't allow him to do television, and yet I saw him last night on 60 Minutes, and he seems to get more airtime than anyone else since the late, great Bob Hope. All I ask of Tony is that he makes better decisions. He said, no masks, and let China in. Also, bad arm. Love that classic little... zing right at the end, though. Bad arm. For those who don't know what happened, Fauci threw the first pitch at a baseball game earlier in 2020. And it's funny, there's a camera over here, and you could tell he's all about optics. Because when you throw, if you want to look where you want the ball to go, I used to play baseball. You have to look at where you want it to go. And if you look somewhere else, there's a chance that will be where the ball is thrown. And he literally throws it directly to this camera that's like off to the left. It's like a dead-on shot over to the camera. And it's like, yeah, you are definitely caring about the optics instead of throwing the first pitch and making the pitch good. Sorry, I'm getting a little sidetracked here. But Fauci did say, I love this. They try to fact check it. The facts. Fauci first spoke about wearing masks amid the COVID-19 pandemic during the March interview in 60 Minutes. Quote, right now in the United States, people should not be walking around with masks. Fauci said during that interview, there's no reason to be walking around with a mask. He continued, when you're in the middle of an outbreak, wearing a mask might make people feel a bit better. It might even block a droplet, but it's not providing the perfect protection that people think that it is. So, wait a minute. Do they work or do they not work? Should we wear them or should we not wear them? I'm confused. You know, we got protect the sick, right? Because the sick are, you know, the most vulnerable. Wait, what's this? World's second oldest person, 116, survives coronavirus? She didn't even realize she had it? What? Yeah, this is a real article. This woman didn't even know she had coronavirus. Turns out she had it and totally beat it at 116. This woman's 116. That's nuts. In Paris, a 116-year-old French nun who's believed to be the world's second oldest person has survived COVID-19 and is looking forward to celebrating her 117th birthday. Wow. She didn't even know she had it. This is insanity. We don't even have, people don't even know they have it. This is not some crazy pandemic. I'm not saying COVID-19 doesn't exist. Okay, I believe it exists. I know personally have family that has had it and has recovered from it, thankfully. And you know, I'm lucky that they did. Some people out there are not so lucky, but people also die from the flu by the hundreds of thousands every year that we don't talk about. People die by the hundreds of thousands by heart disease every year. Is that considered a pandemic? Well, no, because they're getting heart disease by being terrible at you know, working out and eating healthy. You know, but we don't talk about that. That's something that people have to be held accountable for. When COVID, they get to blame others. It's COVID's fault. I mean, I could go on about that. But what I want to know is, and I've got a great article. you know I had to bring this in, and shout out to IB Rippenham because I saw this and I knew that IB Rippenham would be enjoying this. Can farts transmit COVID-19 coronavirus? Here is what is being said. I'm spoiling it for you. Yes. Absolutely they can. They definitely can. In fact, this is a very long article that I'm not going to read right now because it's quite a long article that you get the gist of it. The bottom line, I can paraphrase it for you. Ready? Yes. There it is. Done. Yes. Farts spread the coronavirus. So I think we should double underwear. Wear double underwears, double masks, and then you know, maybe, I don't know, some plugs. Should we get some plugs? Maybe some like cotton shove in there so it'll filter the oh my goodness. Look, this is straight up from a doctor. This is a quote. I think that what we should do in terms of social distancing and being safe is that policy on the part of the entire Australian population should be that you don't fart close to other people and that you don't fart with your bare bottom. I meant with your bottom bare. This is a real doctor talking about it. It's like, are people walking around in public bare bottom where they're farting? Should people just wear diapers? You know, what is the end? You know, we've got anal swabs now in China because it's more accurate because they can, obviously they've got coronavirus in their bungholes. So if there's coronavirus in there, it'll spread through farts. So social distancing. I mean, you got someone 6 feet away from you. If it's a nasty one, it's gonna spread 6 feet, right? Who are we kidding? Come on. I've been known to have some stinky gas in the past. I'm not hiding it. I'm not, I'm human. All humans fart. Don't deny it. I don't care who you are. You've farted before. Period. All right? No, 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 no. Don't give me that. You have farted. All right? And if you farted in this past year without a butt mask, shame on you. For shame. Wear your mask, people. On both ends. That's good. I saw a mask actually of a guy who had a picture. He took a picture of this. You can get your face and get your actual face on the cover of a mask. Well, he had his picture on the mask was of a mask pulled down under his mouth like this, like a medical mask. And then up here was his face. And people were like, "Hey, put your mask over your nose." And then he pulls down the mask and he's like, "I've got my mask on." And then he put his mask up. But it's actually, the image is him having his mask down. Glorious troll. I was, man, shout out to my Discord, because that was in my Discord. That was hilarious.